What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek, and in today's video we are going over my favorite either A, productivity, or B, self-improvement slash personal development apps. I kind of lump those all together because honestly, even productivity apps, typically if you're interested in productivity apps, it's because you're trying to improve yourself by being able to work and be more productive when you're working. So with that said, I want to make a note that I am specifically talking about applications on the Android device, on the Google Play Store. So with that said, let's kind of dive into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is my personal knowledge management system. PKMS, a lot of people call it. And what a PKMS is basically it's just a note-taking app, a glorified note-taking app. But it's a note-taking app that allows you to basically collect and categorize all of the information you receive in your life, whether that's text, audio, video, whatever the case. Now, for years, I used Evernote for this. I was a Evernote and I paid for premium every year. I was an Evernote premium user for probably, I want to say 6 to 8 years. And then recently, I would say a year and a half to 2 years ago, I switched over to Notion, and I have not looked back. Notion is an absolutely phenomenal note-taking app, but also a personal knowledge management system. It uses markdown format language, so you can easily put in text and easily learn kind of the little markers to make things like bold text, headings, things like that. So it's very easy to work with, very easy to quickly get information into it, has lots of integrations and connections with tons of different apps, which allows you to import information into it. You can upload files, videos, photos, pretty much anything that you want to attach to your notes, you're able to do that. Not only that, but it has databases and tables. Specifically with the databases, what this allows you to do is it allows you to keep track of many different things in a database that then allow you to sort through that information or manage that knowledge very, very easily. So if we go to my personal Life OS dashboard, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. So when we go here, I have lots of different links that basically take me to different places inside of my Notion. And there's lots of cool things that you can do. For example, if I go to my second brain, which is kind of my main personal knowledge management system area, if I go there and go to my mobile view, I'll see that from this, I can quickly, to my databases, add tasks like my to-do list, I can add projects, I can add notes, I can add resources, which would be like websites, videos, photos, whatever. I can add habits, I can add expenses and income if I want to track my finances through Notion. And I can go to all of these different areas pretty easily. So I'm going to click on notes here just to take you to the notes real quick and then scroll down. And you can see this is a database of notes. And again, the nice thing about having it as a database is that I'm able to then sort by all of these different modifiers, whatever modifiers I decide to include in the database, and I can very easily find what it is I'm looking for. Other cool features is Notion is completely integrated with artificial intelligence. So it uses ChatGPT and Claude, both LLMs, to basically allow you to not just ask an LLM questions like you would with ChatGPT or Claude, for example, but it also allows you to use all of the knowledge that you've brought into your system, that you've saved over the years, to search through that and the AI to have all the knowledge on that, to also be able to give you extremely specific and very personalized information when you ask it questions, which is really cool. So again, if we go to my task manager for example here, you can see because again, we have these tables, we have to do, doing, done, and everything can be open, closed. But the cool thing is again, because we're using a database and we have these modifiers, I can click on any of these like check vid IQ coaching here, and I can change it to doing, for example, and it now automatically moves under the doing category here within my system. So again, it just allows very cool stuff like that, and it allows you to do lots of stuff. Just to give you one more example, we'll go back to the Life OS. In here, I have a flashcard system. And so what this is there's actually an app that I have on my phone called NeuroCache. And what it does is I can import things like my 5-year goals, Bible verses, things to memorize, just important things, my favorite jokes, my favorite quotes from people, notes from books I've read. I can import all that into this database. And when I open that app, it basically creates for me flashcards for all of this information that I can then, memorize all of this different information, again, increasing kind of my personal knowledge. And so again, there's tons of options. There is pretty much templates for just about everything you want to do. You want to have basically a recipe system where it keeps all the recipes you like and also keeps a shopping list where you can pick out different recipes and it'll create shopping lists for you so you know what to go buy. There's a template for that. There's templates for just about anything. You want to have a 30-day workout plan? There's a template for that. There are tons of templates that you can download for free and paid ones through Notion. So there's an entire third-party community of template creators where you can buy these additional templates to do even more things. But again, there's also tons and tons of free templates that you can use, as well as just creating everything yourself. And so Notion is an app that I absolutely love. And the only thing I regret about it is that I did not switch sooner from Evernote to Notion. So that's one of my, just to kind of start it off, that's kind of the main app that ties a lot of other apps together, because a lot of other apps connect to Notion and bring in information. And so that's why I wanted to talk about that one. Just to give you one more example, I know I'm kind of staying on this for a bit, but I also have this device called an OMI, O-M-I, and what this does is this is recording audio 24/7. So every conversation I have, everything that I do, every video I watch, every doctor appointment I have, every book I read, if I want to take mental notes, I can just say them out loud. This thing captures all those and then collects that, and creates basically, it takes the transcript of that conversation, gives me a summary of it. There's also additional apps and tools you can connect to it that will allow it to do different things using, again, AI and LLMs. But then there's also a connector to Notion so that all of these conversations that I have with people, all of these transcripts, all of these summaries get stored inside of Notion. I also have it connected to my Google Drive, so you can do it several ways, but it does connect to Notion, and you can import all of those conversations and stuff right into Notion. And again, with Notion's AI, you now have access to go back and say hey, I know I was talking to my dad about this. When was that conversation? Can you find me the full transcript of it? And I can go back and review important information if I need to. Again, it's just really the central app for everything I do in my life. It now houses mainly my to-do list, my notes, my CRM. Pretty much, I run my life through Notion at this point. The second app I want to talk about is ChatGPT or Claude, or we'll just say LLMs as a whole. Pick your favorite LLM. So ChatGPT is a program that I use daily and multiple times through the day. And I also I have the Meta smart glasses, which it was the smart glasses that Meta, Facebook, did with Ray-Bans. And they have Meta's Llama LLM model built into them. So between ChatGPT and this, I pretty much use an LLM throughout my entire day for different things. And not just for asking it questions and getting answers, which I do. And like I said, that's why I kind of also include it as a self-improvement or personal development app, because you can use it for doing a lot of things like learning new things, but also you can use it to reflect on your day, to do journal entries and have a conversation back and forth with the LLM to kind of help you think about things, to work out things, to help you brainstorm. Works really good as a brainstorming partner. And so different things like that. And so it's become an app that I also use pretty much throughout the entirety of my day. And again, I know everybody's using AI nowadays, but I still feel like I would be missing the mark if I did not at least mention that I use it. I won't go too big into those, but again, I use ChatGPT for everything. If I'm brainstorming for YouTube videos, I use ChatGPT. If I have a question I don't know, I don't even go to Google no more. I just open up ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT. It can search the web, all of that. I have it help me come up, with meal plans. I have it help me rewrite emails or social media posts, clean up my stuff, that I, quick thoughts and stuff I have. I'll just speak it into ChatGPT and then have it, create different content and stuff for me. For example, sometimes I'll just have a conversation with ChatGPT using the voice mode on different topics, and then at the end, I'll have it kind of give me a summary of the whole topic, as well as some different social media posts that it can pull from what I talked to it about. So it just works really good as kind of a partner in helping you create things, and I use it very, very much. All right, so now the rest of the apps that I'm going to talk about are really more of traditional, just kind of apps that do one thing, much more basic than Notion or ChatGPT, but they're still apps that I find extremely helpful. The first is the app on my phone. I have a Pomodoro timer, or not on my phone. I have a Pomodoro timer on my watch, which I know that's not a phone, but it's still Android and you can just download it for your phone. But I have it on my watch, which I'm not wearing right now, so I'm not really gonna be able to show you guys that. But I'm a huge user when I'm working of the Pomodoro technique, which is basically a timer. I mean, you can even use a normal clock for this or a stopwatch or anything. You can just set a timer on like your smart device at home, your computer, whatever, or just look at the clock and mentally, do it. But basically it's a technique where you work for 25 minutes of deep focus work. After that 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break to kind of get up, stretch, get the body moving. It also acts as a mental reset. So like sometimes I have a habit, I have ADHD, and sometimes I have a habit of falling down rabbit holes. So I might be working on a video or working on something and I'm doing research and I come across an article or a video and it says something and next thing I know I'm, making a Samsung Fold 6 review and I'm looking at, dog collars for my dogs on Amazon. I don't know how it happens, but it does happen to me sometimes. And, that it also kind of gives that mental reset to be like, oh, okay, timer went off, get up, stretch. Am I working on what I should be working on? No. Okay, sit back down, refocus, work for another 25 minutes. You do this 3 times. On your 4th break, you take a longer break. You take a 15-minute break. So it goes 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, 15. So every 4 times you get a longer break. Again, it's just a way to get up, stretch. If you do like me where you're working in front of a computer a lot or in cameras or things like that and you're more of a sedentary lifestyle, I think it's a great technique. And again, outside of even just getting up and stretching and things like that, I think it's great specifically because it also gives you that mental reset every so often. The next app I'll talk about is Medito, or Medito, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Medito. This is a meditation app. I am a huge fan of meditation. I'm also a huge fan of prayer, and I think prayer and meditation kind of go hand in hand. Now, I've used several meditation apps over the years. The first one that I ever used that got me into meditation was Headspace, and I paid for that for like 2 years. And I love the app and all of that, but the truth is, there's just so many apps nowadays that you got to pay like a monthly fee for or a yearly fee for that it gets expensive. I then switched to an app called Insight Timer. Now, Insight Timer, it has 5 million plus downloads, has a 4.8 rating. So, I mean, it's a really good app and I have no issues with it, but it's a free meditation app where you can just basically open up meditation, guided meditation sessions on different topics, on different things, listen to them, do them, and it's great. The biggest problem with Insight Timer that I ran into is there's no structure to it. There's not really like a, hey, follow this. And sometimes I like to go back and do the basics again. I think a lot of people, you learn the basics of something and then you kind of never go back and revisit it. I like going back and revisiting the basics to make sure I don't forget things, to kind of refreshen up on things. And so the app I've really been using lately for meditation that I absolutely love is this one called Medito or Medito, however you say it, but it's Medito, like I said. But the reason I like this is it also has specific like courses you can go through. So this has the Medito course, which, it has get started, a couple minute, just kind of like getting you into it, explaining what meditation is, mindfulness meditation. Then it has like a learning to sit section, which kind of builds you up from 4 minutes to 10-minute meditation sessions. Then it has the next step would be mindfulness, which again, it builds it up from, 5 to 10-minute sessions up to like 11-minute sessions. Then it has deepen your practice where it just goes into and so it like goes into these different topics each time you do a meditation that kind of build one on top of the other like stepping stones. And I think for a lot of people, that's very important versus just trying to use something like Insight Timer, which again is a fantastic app, 5 million downloads, 4.8 rating, but it doesn't have that same structure. At least I didn't feel like it had that same structure. It does have some where you can kind of follow through some things, but nothing like this or nothing like Headspace. I would say out of all of them I've tried, Headspace course is probably the best. Like the way that they take you through everything and teach you step by step, it's probably the best one that I've ever done. But I would say that Medito is like, let's say Headspace is a 5 out of 5. Medito is like a 4.8, 4.9 out of 5. I mean, it's right behind Headspace and it's free. So definitely recommend checking that out. Next app I want to talk about is MacroFactor. So MacroFactor, I used to use MyFitnessPal. If you're familiar with MyFitnessPal is a way to track your calories and your macros, your nutrients. Make sure you're getting the right amount of fats, calories, salt levels, vitamins, just whatever, all your macros, making sure that you're eating balanced meals and getting all of those things. And so you can track your foods. It's easy to use because you can quickly do searches for just about any food out there, including like fast food places, restaurants, and you can find out how many calories it has and all of the nutritional information on it, and you can log it into your meal, your meal whatever diary, and just track everything that you're eating and see how you're doing overall when it comes to your nutrition. The next app that I absolutely love is called I Am. This app will pop up a affirmation on my phone in my notifications. So you can see right here, I have this one. It says, I am. I let go of what no longer aligns with me. I can then hit the arrow and I can save it to my favorites, so I can share it all directly from the notification, which is cool. But now I can also go into the actual application, and this application is completely free to do. At least I don't pay for it, but there is a paid version, but I've never found myself needing the paid version personally. But when I go in here, again, I kind of have these affirmations that I can go through. I accept myself exactly as I am. My head is held high and proud. I am attractive and genuine. I always do a lot more than expected. I live my truth. I always have a reason to smile. I am creating the perfect me. Now, I'll be honest, I don't come in here too often and actually go through all of them. I simply use this because of the pop-up. I mean, I probably get, let's just say, anywhere from 5 to 10 affirmations that pop up on my phone a day, just randomly. And it's just a great way of helping you keep negative self-talk out of your life. And then the other cool thing is you can, like I said, even in the notification bar, there was an option for save to favorites. I can click down here in this little bottom right and go down, and I have a favorites, and I can see all of the ones that I've saved that were my favorite that have popped up for me. Okay. The next one we'll talk about is Honestly. What this allows you to do is this is just like a journaling app. So you can open it up and you can either type or you can record with your voice, and then it'll send it to AI using probably like OpenAI's Whisper model, LLM, and do a transcription of what you spoke into it so that you still have kind of the text journal of it. And it's basically a diary. So every time you open it up, it has the date and it says, how are you today? And again, you can type or you can just say it and it'll transcribe it. But you can also hit this prompt button and get different prompts. So I hit the prompt button, it says, what thoughts came up in your mind today? Were your thoughts mostly positive or negative? Why? How did those thoughts affect your actions? And so it can give you prompts on things to talk about. With that said, the next app I want to talk about is Forest. So Forest is actually another, it's a Pomodoro timer technically, but what's cool about it is you can set a timer, so 25 minutes, you can hit plant, and it'll start a timer. And now if you leave this app and you go and do something else on your phone, it's going to kill your tree that's growing. So every time you hit plant, it plants a little seed and little thing, and the timer goes down, and when it goes down, you made a tree. And you have an entire forest you can view, that you can view where you basically grow all these different trees. Now again, if you interrupt the app, go out of the app or whatever, it's gonna basically cause your tree to not grow, and then you kind of fail on that session. So it's a Pomodoro timer, but it also helps you keep distractions away from like your phone and stuff, which is really cool. So again, it's a pretty simple app. There's not a lot to that, so we won't stay on that one too much. Now, in terms of the apps that I like in terms of workout apps, improving your health and stuff. So I use a couple different ones. So the ones that I use are Calistree app, Calistree, and Home Workout. All three of those are basically calisthenic applications that allow you to create body weight home workouts. Also, they have already like workouts, set like full body, upper body, lower body, and it already has the exercises and stuff built out. Or you can build your own routine within the apps. Now, in terms of running apps, I mainly just use the built-in Samsung Health, workout tracker on my Samsung watch. I used to use like Runtastic before they got bought by Under Armour and now became Map My Run or whatever. And then also Adidas Running, or maybe that one was the Map My Run that got bought out. But anyways, I've used both of those in the past. I've also used Strava. I would say Strava and Adidas Running are probably my two favorite out of those apps. But again, it's just so much easier with my smartwatch now, so I don't use them. But I still kept this, it's called Zombie Run. And this is a running app. You can also do walking with it and build up. But what happens is that while you're jogging, while you're walking, it gives you a story of basically you find this town called Able Township, and you become a part of it, and the world is taken over by zombies. So think like The Walking Dead. And it's taken over by zombies, and you are what's called a runner. And your job is to go outside of this Able Township, this little community of people, and to find materials and things for the community. So you go out, and as you're walking, jogging, you're finding objects. You know, the game will say like, you picked up a pair of gloves. And then, you know, those items actually help you build up your township. In the game, after you're done jogging and after you're done walking, you can actually build up your township using the resources that you gathered while you went out for your exercise. So I click on Zombies Run, and you can see I can go to Able Township. Welcome to Base Builder. Again, I reset stuff because I didn't want all my personal information being on here. But you can see you can actually expand your town. You can build, upgrade different things from the supplies you get, like different, the farmhouse here, you can upgrade it to like at a higher level, add a flagpole, add benches, which give your town additional morale points. So just different cool things like that. And it's just a super fun app to really get you active and to keep you active. Okay, next what I want to talk about is application called ScreenZen. So ScreenZen is an app where you can select different applications as well as websites and stuff to block. And you can set up different block rules. For example, as you can see here, I have a group called Social Media. And if I click in that, I'm blocking 11 apps. And if I look at the apps, that includes Instagram, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Snap. And I like that you can block individuals. So I can block YouTube Shorts, but not block YouTube. So you'll notice YouTube's not in here, but YouTube Shorts is. And so Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Snapchat Spotlight, Facebook, X, Reddit, TikTok, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, etc., etc. Basically, any app that you want to select, you can select it to then have it get blocked. Again, you can also do websites. You can do adult porn sites. You can do, kind of gives you some to start with, but you can also add all of your own websites. This app is completely free. There is no paid version that I know of. I don't even think there's a way to pay for anything. It's just a completely free app that somebody designed. It is amazing. I am so thankful for whoever did do it. I've used a couple different apps in the past, and this one is by far the best one I've ever found. And I like that it allows you to not just block apps on your phone, but also individual websites. Now the next one I'll talk about is, so this one is called Minimalist Phone. And it has 1 million plus downloads, 4.6 stars. It was a one-time pay fee, so I did buy it. You only got to buy it once. It's not like a subscription or anything like that. But it's 4.6 stars out of that. The other one is called Olauncher, Minimal AF Launcher. So this one has 1 million plus downloads and it has a 4.9 star. The reason being, again, I haven't actually noticed a big difference between the two personally, at least for what I use them for. I think the reason this one has a higher rating is simply because, as far as I know, it's completely free. And so the way this works is you set it as your default launcher, or you can. I don't have it set as mine. I just sometimes use it like when I need to. If I notice I'm on my phone a lot or I'm getting distracted by my phone, the ScreenZen works pretty good for me. This is just an additional step if you need it. But what it does is it basically turns all of your apps, all of the icons and everything into text instead. You have all your apps just kind of listed in alphabetical order in text. So there's like no distractions. You still have your wallpaper in the background, but there's like no distractions on the phone. You can replace your normal launcher with this to where just literally every time you open your phone, it's just these text words. And the thing is, you can type anything you want in here and immediately pull it up. And even once it gets to a certain point, it will just open that up. So, and then my next favorite app is kind of a twofold. This one I'm gonna kind of quickly go through because it's really like 3 apps, but Audible, Kindle, and YouTube Music. Specifically for audiobooks, books, and podcasts. I think podcasts, books, and audiobooks are one of the #1 ways, and I would say podcasts and regular books, are probably the two best ways to increase your knowledge in the world on different subjects, on different topics. I think audiobooks are good, but I think most of the time if I want to listen to something, I find myself gravitating towards podcasts and learning more from podcasts, and specifically podcasts of conversations, of people having conversations about different topics and subjects, like Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, Tim Ferriss, things like that, Jocko Williams, versus trying to use a Audible book. So I do like Audible, but I do not use it as much. But Kindle and YouTube Music for podcasts and reading books. And I will also say, even though I use the Kindle app on my phone sometimes, I do also have a Kindle, and that is mainly what I read on. But again, I felt like I should at least still mention that those are really great apps for just learning in general. And then the last app I'll mention, and I guess probably some hate in the comments about this one, is the Bible app from lifechurch.tv. Lifechurch.tv put out the Bible app. It's the #1 Bible app on both iOS and Android. It offers everything from reading the Bible in just about any translation that you want to, as well as like a verse of the day, as well as different reading plans on different topics, as well as different books of the Bible. Like if you want to, study the book of Job, you can study the book of Job. If you want to do a reading plan trying to help you overcome a porn addiction, you can a corn addiction, you can do that. If you're having anger issues, you can find a reading plan, about that. And, I know a lot of people, as a whole have our world does not, believe in God like we used to, and I get it. I walked away from church for like 12 to 14 years. I've only recently been back in church now for like 2.5 years. I did grow up in church. I had a pastor as a father, and I'm a very scientific person, very tech person, but I do personally believe they can be married together. I don't think one has to be better than the other. I don't know all the answers. I can't say 100% sure what is true and what isn't. That's why it's called faith. But I just know in my own life and what I've dealt with in life, to me, there's just no doubt that there is a God out there. And I would just encourage you, if you are a self-improver, personal development person, I'm not trying to convert you. The only reason I bring it up is because, again, I was saved by the love of God, and I would feel amiss if I did not. But that would be the last app that I'll bring up, is the Bible app. I think it is a fantastic self-improvement app as well, and it is completely free. Again, it's one of those apps where like you can give donations towards it, and at the end of the year they typically have like a little fundraising thing that pops up, like Wikipedia or like that other Medito app I mentioned. But yeah, that's it. That's my apps. So there's other apps out there. I'm not saying these are the best or that these are the ones you should be using. This is just what I have found that's worked for me. I would be happy to go into any more of these apps and more details of kind of the apps that I use for self-improvement, personal development, and productivity. If you guys would like, just leave a comment, maybe let me know. Also, I'd be intrigued, I'm not stupid. I know new apps come out all the time. Old apps get updated. So if you have any suggestions of apps I should try, or apps that you think other people should try that are maybe watching this video, then please leave a comment down below suggesting those as well. And maybe I'll check those out, and maybe we can do a video on those in the future as well. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this around self-improvement, technology, gaming. We do a lot of stuff here, but we have a lot of fun, and we would love to have you as part of the community. With that said, thank you so much, like I said, for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, peace out, everybody. Later, nerds.